Hello, folks. The old deplorable basket case here. So, person called Brandon Bowen like to comment on an earlier video entitled Response Video, Death versus Financial Instability. And this person writes to me, the definition of quit is to leave a place, usually permanently. There is no definition that I have found that implies that a person has the right to leave their job if they want to. I never said the word quit means a person has the right to leave if they want to. I said that in a capitalist system, a person can leave their job if they want to. But I fear this may devolve into an argument over semantics, so I will leave this one alone. If you're going to leave something alone, then leave it alone! And don't raise it up! You've asked whether or not I understand the difference between the two situations, even though you read and acknowledged where I said that the two situations are obviously different. To clarify, what I was doing was pointing out a similarity in the different situations, and I was pointing out the huge and obvious differences in the two situations that invalidate the point you were trying to make. You made a good point about the generalities, so I will present a case study. Oh, great, a case study. Something specific, something that we can really debate. Good, I like this. Good move. A high school dropout, single mother of two, is working at her local Walmart because that is the only place in town where she is qualified to work. Walmart, as you may know, is notorious for underpaying their employees. If she quits, she loses any bit of financial security she had left. She cannot move because she cannot afford it, she has no savings, and spends all her time outside of work caring for her children. In your opinion, what options does this woman have? Well, in America, lots of options. Okay? She doesn't have money to move. Okay, so friends, family, there are lots of people who will help people move. In fact, there are social institutions, some of them nationwide, that exist for the specific purpose of helping people in that situation. And you know, spending all your time taking care of children, it's a big deal. I know this for a fact. I've done it. I've done it for kids of all ages, as old as 17, even up to, from newborns up to 17, I've done it. So I know a lot about it. So trust me when I tell you that when you're taking care of children, you can do other things. You can make a phone call. You can do an internet search, which is actually a little easier. I mean, because it doesn't matter so much if you get interrupted. Well, okay, when you're walking a baby to sleep, there are an awful lot of things you can do. I know this for a fact. So she doesn't have enough money to go and buy or rent a new place straight off. Okay, so there are shelters. There are places to go in the United States of America. And there are lots of other towns out there. There are lots of places to work that are not Walmart. Now, I just want to take a moment right now to state that what you're doing here is you are taking the very worst possible case that you can come up with and trying to use this case to justify your whole argument against the entire capitalist system. Okay, there certainly are some people who are in that situation. And there are many hundreds of millions of people who are not in that situation, who are in a much better situation in capitalism. In fact, people in a non-capitalist society are much more likely to be in a situation like that. Also, this hypothetical person, if she leaves her job, either she finds some other job somehow, or she decides that the risk is worth it and she just leaves and she goes somewhere else, she will not be hunted down, dragged back in chains, to be whipped, branded, beaten, even killed, and her children sold off to some whorehouse or sugar plantation. There's no similarity! Seriously. So, down here we come to some political systems make it easy to influence politicians, and the US happens to have one of these systems. A Princeton study on policy has this to say: the preferences of the average American appear to have only a minuscule, near-zero, statistically non-significant impact upon public policy. That's not saying the same thing. And 1 out of 365 million people is a minuscule, near-zero, statistically non-significant impact. Which is why the federal government is supposed to be small. Because while it is very hard, even if you get to Washington, it is very hard for anyone to be able to talk to their representative or their senator. But just about everybody can find their representative to the state senate, their state senators, their state representatives. Just about anyone can do that. I'm not sure if you were trying to be ironic when you spoke about Donald Trump wanting to drain the swamp, but I am hoping you were. Okay, dude, what part of deplorable basket case do you not understand? Think about it, okay? If you weren't, I would love to know how you would justify people like Betsy DeVos and Rex Tillerson being the Department Head of Education and the Secretary of State. I wouldn't. They're not my appointments. I know of no reason why these people would be unsuited to the tasks. You go on, or this person goes on, neither of them having previous experience in their current positions. Okay. How many secretaries of state had previous experience in the position before being appointed to the position? Okay, I think I get the point you're trying to make. You could have written it better. DeVos's only qualification being that she and her family gave large donations to the Trump campaign. Actually, she has had a political career. She has worked in politics, starting quite at the bottom and working her way up. Okay, as far as you can say that politicians work, she has worked her way to the position that she has. And Tillerson being the former CEO of the largest oil company in the country. Yeah, he worked as a CEO of a large company. What's your point? How does that disqualify someone from being anything decent as Secretary of State? Lots of secretaries of state of the USA were never in politics before they were appointed secretaries of state. And you know what? A lot of them turned out to be very good secretaries of state. So I don't know these people. I actually haven't done, and I have not done much research on them. I'm not interested in doing much research on them because I don't need to make an argument about this. Okay? These people were regarded by the person making the appointment as being the best people for the job. That's my argument. That's the only argument I need to make. I believe these people are textbook examples of the swamp he was speaking about. Trump also thought it fit... No! The swamp he was talking about was professional politicians! Trump also thought it fitting to give his son-in-law the duty of reforming the federal government while simultaneously developing solutions to the Israel-Palestine conflict, among a plethora of other very difficult duties, even though Kushner's background is in real estate. There actually is provision in federal law for a president to appoint his or her family to positions in the government. It's there. It's in law. It's allowed. There's nothing wrong with that. Excuse me. Now, is Jared Kushner up to doing all the tasks that have been assigned to him? Well, clearly the person who appointed him thinks he is. As far as developing solutions to the Israel-Palestine conflict, as far as I can tell, he's not working very hard on that, which I actually take as a point in his favor, because it's kind of like trying to develop a... There's no point to it. Anyway, speaking of real estate, Kushner had a very shady deal with some Chinese buyers a few months ago who were paying an obscene amount above asking, but he subsequently had to cancel the deal because of its appearance. Okay. Bunch of Chinese people offered him a huge amount of money, and he canceled the deal. What's shady about that? For each of these stories, there are many more, so forgive me if I find it hard to believe that he was being genuine when he said that he wants to drain the swamp. Okay, hold any opinion you want. I will not say that you are wrong to hold any opinion that you want. I will be the last person ever to say that you should not say your opinion. By all means, talk about it. Debate me if you want about this. I took your advice and tried to include the necessary punctuations. I do hope what was previously written is understandable. Yeah, it's quite understandable. So, the entire point is that even in a really hard situation, like this hypothetical person, this particular case study that you present, this person does not have the entire force of law keeping her in this situation. What this person has keeping her in this situation is market forces, which are not caused or directed by or at the direction of any particular cabal of slave-owning people. Unlike, the fugitive slave law. Serfs and slaves are people in a truly horrific situation. Now, there are people who are ordinary workers, free workers in a capitalist system who are in awful situations. But there is no similarity. Thank you for commenting. I appreciate the feedback. And everyone who's watching, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. And I hope you have a good night, and God bless.